Abortion has been one of the most heavily debated topics throughout the entire history of America. From the 1800s to present day, there have always been two sides to this argument. There have been the pro-life who believe that abortion is a sin and murder and it should be treated as such, and there are the pro-choice group who believe that it is a basic human right and a woman's right to choose whether or not she has an abortion. Presently, Roe v. Wade is being threatened by the pro-life movement, but they don't realize the negative implications of restricting abortion access. These negative impacts include unsafe abortions, inhumane treatment, discrimination against women, etc. Abortion access should not be restricted. Abortion should be accessible for all. It should not be criminalized. According to the World Health Organization, each year 4.7 to 13.2% of maternal deaths can be attributed to unsafe abortions. In developed regions, it is estimated that 30 women die for every 100,000 unsafe abortions. In developing regions, that number rises to 220 deaths per 100,000 unsafe abortions. When abortion access is restricted, women have lost the right to their own body, to make the safe choice, so they make the unsafe one, and unfortunately, unsafe abortions have some pretty extreme side effects, such as hemorrhage, infections, uterine perforations, damage to the internal organs, sepsis, and in some cases even death. According to the APA, excessive research has shown that contrary to the pro-life argument that women who receive abortions are more likely to experience mental illness than those who don't is false. Women who are denied an abortion are more likely to initially experience higher levels of anxiety, lower life satisfaction, and lower self-esteem compared to women who have received an abortion. If abortion access is restricted, women who are forced to keep an unwanted pregnancy, regardless of the situation, can be left with mental issues. These mental impacts include PTSD, depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, etc. Women who are left to have unsafe abortions experience these mental health impacts as well. If left untreated, these mental illnesses can take over one's life and ultimately lead to suicide in some cases. Some women who receive abortions are not only risking their health and safety, but their freedom as well. Recently, a woman in Texas was arrested by the Starr County Sheriff's Office for murder after an abortion that occurred in January. The Sheriff's Office was alerted about this individual at a hospital where she was receiving care. This is an example of one of the outcomes of restricted abortion access. Pro-life argues that abortion is murder and should be treated as such, which is what happened in Texas after it passed its extreme abortion ban, which states that those who receive an abortion up to as early as 6 weeks of pregnancy will be arrested. This is extremely inhumane and discriminatory treatment to not only women, but underprivileged women who cannot afford to make the drive to another state, catch the pregnancy in time, etc. Another argument the pro-life side makes is that a fetus can feel pain. This is simply untrue to an extent because a fetus in the early stages of development lacks the developed nervous system and brain to feel pain or even be aware of their surroundings. The neuroanatomical apparatus required for pain and sensation is not complete until about 26 weeks into pregnancy. These scientific facts make abortion laws like the ones coming into legislation in Florida, in Texas, Oklahoma, and all across the country unnecessary, completely unfair, and extremely inhumane. Women who receive safe abortions are more likely to be successful in school, economically, and in their lives. When safe and accessible abortions are open to the public, it is essential to attaining social equality for women. Laws restricting access to safe, legal abortions will be particularly harmful to low-income women, women of color, and sexual and gender minorities. Pro-life argues that a child should be carried to term no matter what the circumstances are, but unwanted pregnancies have been associated with deficits to the subsequent child's cognitive, emotional, and social responses. When women are forced to have unwanted pregnancies, the resulting children suffer from emotional cognitive issues, living in poverty, put into the foster system, etc. Why make a child suffer for simply existing? While the pro-life argument believes that abortion restrictions will make life better for many and decrease the abortion rate, these restrictions cause more harm to both the mother and child than good. The mother may go through unsafe abortion routes and risk her health, safety, and even jail time. If she is forced to have this unwanted pregnancy, the child is more likely to have emotional, cognitive, or social issues than average. Abortion is a human right and one of the biggest steps forward in the feminist movement. Restricting abortion is taking a step backwards for women's rights and for humans' rights as well. Thank you.